Good evening, jeez, that's bright. I don't know why I got so bright all of a sudden. Like it just got flashback by the screen. Too bad it's sunny. Because usually it's just too bright. But yeah. How are we doing? Hope everybody's well this Saturday evening. Not the best weather to be doing as if doing anything, but hello. The understatement of the century, but anyway. We give it a few minutes, obviously, for everything to happen. The usual carry on, unfortunately. I know I'm about 10 minutes early. No, we're not 10 minutes. Half. 7 8 minutes early, but yeah. Okay. Or sure, better early than later, because remember, 1 week I was late. It was that last week or the week before. Who knows? Interested. I wondered did notifications go out, so I'm just tricking about at the same time. I'm just making sure I have other stuff. Yeah, okay, it's off. Right, very good. That's the notification. Ho ho! The notification went out early. Ho ho! Right here. It's very warm for this top. I got this new top, but it's very warm in here. I'll be totally honest. But I wouldn't mind. Yesterday evening it was cold and I had to put it down. But when I'm streaming, it's always fucking warm. Let me see. You can trick around a bit here. Do the tricking. Where was that? I wonder that I had. Need to go to my channel. Let's go bowling. Too bad the bowling alley in Cavan's closed. It could be fun if we went bowling. Where in the name of God am I? Where was... That's definitely near the library. What is this now? Yeah, that's the right screen. Very good. Just want to make sure I can see my own live stream because don't know because maybe scheduling the live stream might have fucked it a bit. No, it seems like it can seem like it's hopefully I'm saying fucking it. Anyway, should we have time anyway? No hurry. There's a Geo Guess the World Cup apparently. I never knew there was such thing. To be totally honest. I'm just looking at a bit of this because I'm actually interested. Like, imagine being a world champion geoguesser. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to recognize some back country road? You know, it's impossible. Like, it's insane there's such a thing. Like, I didn't know there was such a thing. It's apparently live in Sweden now. I'll put it on the side just to see, because it's actually, I don't know, it's on the last 4 hours. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, I'm just shocked about that now, to be told. I just found that out. Because how could you know if you were put down in some part of the world in GeoGuessr? It's insane. Anyway, I probably should focus on what I'm doing now. No, that's insane. Like, that requires some skill just to know whereabouts in the world you are. Hope your Saturday's going well. Seems like it's going to be a quiet one tonight, anyway. Doesn't look like it's going to be popping. That's why. Let me see. Just give it a few minutes, just to say, as we usually do, just to wait for. Oh, I don't think we ever would join NATO. What we should be worried about is the main thing, because again, they would have done it if they could have. See, I don't think there's any possibility of Ireland joining NATO at the moment. The government, back a few years ago, wanted to try it when the Russian-Ukraine invasion happened. The war jumped up and down about it, but they had no support for it. They would have been destroyed if they do it. So the only threat really is of the European army, basically, of the European army, conscription to the European army, or whatever. I don't think there's a threat of Ireland being dragged into NATO. But you could argue with all the things that the Israeli missiles and stuff being transported over the country, the US troops in Shannon, going through Shannon. You could argue all that, and obviously Ireland taking part in that EU battle group is not like peacekeeping. It's a battle group that responds to threats, etc., etc. So we shouldn't be in that anyway. But it's not so much NATO, like the word European army. That's what they want. That's what the Irish government really, really want. They do want NATO too, but they want a European army as a whole. Because see, in NATO, you have to have your own army, and all that, and don't want that. See, with the European army, just be one army. Every country's army is combined in the European Union. So that's what they want. Because you can see it, because it's criminal. Like, if you look in the last 20 years, how bad the army's been funded, etc., etc., that's the only conclusion you can come to. Because it's criminal if they defund it. Like, that's the only base. In my head, and many people said that's the only logical answer, because they've known for years that the state is in. I think we will get to that anyway at some stage later on. We give it another 2 minutes or so before we start on the things. No, so we might as well start now. So why not? Again, I'm a few minutes early, just to say that. I know 6. Oh, right. Right here. Let's see what. So there's a bike shed. So this is in Helsinki. These are the new bike sheds they're testing out. So they have about 8 or 9 of them, I think. Like these, like they are sheds, like. But in fairness, they didn't cost the price of €300,000. Like these look a lot better. Like these are actually bike sheds for people. So the 6 of them, as I say, they got it all for 10,000 and all that. So which is not bad for 6 of them. That you can fit 3 or 4 bikes in. So that's good use, and the public are using them and stuff like that. So there's only 2 of them. The other few are on the other side of the city, like up that way. Good value for money, I suppose. That's what so not as bad as 300. I would have laughed if they said this is all 300,000. But when I go over to Finland again, I say these bike sheds are worth €6 billion. Because apparently bike sheds a lot of money now. So I make sure to tell them that these are worth billions of euro in Ireland. Hello, I can Dartmoor. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Hope you're well. Welcome from the UK. So you saw your family saw in the military. Yeah, a lot of, well, particularly in England, not so much in Ireland. Not well. There's obviously military families and stuff. There still is. There's there, but you know, respect for that. But yeah, no, just saying about the bike shed. Uh, I suppose we just chat for a moment. Sorry if it's a bit laggy. I don't know why it's lagging. Like, I can see the internet down the bottom here, and it's quite good. So I don't get it. It's because I have so much things on the screen, like up here. Is that because the reason why? Oh, because I never knows why it's doing that. Because it's like it's a full bar, like it's full the bar of internet. So I don't get it between answer, or maybe it's just where I have it. It's like I never get why it lags and stuff like that. Where am I here? I suppose we talk about some good news. I suppose now we're not good news. I suppose we'll go for this one here, the good news first. So these students, you probably remember me saying about the students in this part of Cavan, Mullinahone area of Cavan, didn't have a bus, 20 children. So apparently, so this is true actually, not apparently, sorry. There is a bus going to be, there's going to be a bigger bus put on. And so it's great to see. It's still not been done yet, but they seem to be in the works. So it's probably going to be another week anyway. But still, this took too long because as one of the parents was saying, I seen the post online. One of these, I think it was a one from Loretto, a young girl from Loretto, her parent. Like she's a first year student. She went in. She was back in the end of August. So we're already at the 4th of September. 14th of September, so excuse me. Like long story short, it took a long time, basically. And this girl has missed out on a good few weeks of school because of it all, and probably another week too, because it's going to take another week before they all be sorted. I say. So it shouldn't have been an issue in the first place, basically. That's the thing. I don't know why it was such a big issue in the first place, and why it was not sorted long before. Because they had all summer. Like again, they had all summer. It wasn't like they were thrown upon this at the last moment. Like they had all summer. So why did they wait so long? But anyway, there's light at the end of the tunnel, at least in this situation. Well, I'm from Cavan. You probably know on the border with Northern Ireland. Oh, you're asking Fiona, that's right. Yeah, but I'm from Cavan in Republic of Ireland. What is this? Sorry, no, this is another big topic we get into. So just in the same area, too, in the Ballygym stuff area. So the municipal authority in Ballygym stuff we're talking about, what I was talking about the last few weeks, particularly when it comes to school transport or even bus drivers and bus CIE buses, bus air what's the National Transport Authority, basically. So this is without ski seat. That was the main thing what he talked about. But why is the bus drivers to drive from 70 to 75? Now, to be totally honest with you, this is the thing. Like getting people to walk into the drop dead is not really the best thing. Like people should be able to drive a 65. This is the issue, and I don't think these councils ever want to address it. The fact of the matter, nobody wants to drive a bus. First of all, it's too much responsibility. Second of all, you don't get paid that much. They only probably get bus driver for bus Aaron. I knew a few of them that drove school buses, for example. This is even CIE buses. They're only getting about 400, 500 a week. They're like, there's particularly school bus drivers not getting much because they're only driving in the morning for maybe 2 hours to get to school to bring the children. And then in the evening, they bring them home. So, a CIE bus driver gets a bit more, about 500, maybe 600. But still, at the end of the day, for long drives, there's some bus drivers that's driving from Dublin to Cork and then from Cork to Belfast. It's a long, and then maybe they'll be driving another bus that evening from Belfast to Dublin. It's a lot of driving about, and it's a lot of responsibility, and they don't get paid enough. Simvastatin, the hours are long and tedious, etc., etc. So that's the issue here. It's not about rising the retirement age. Obviously, they should be allowed to, if they want to, they can work around to 70 if they want to. But I do think we just give them more money. That'd be the best thing to do, and that might encourage people to become bus drivers, etc., etc. Because that's the issue. They don't want to pay people. So it's not right to be honestly asking people to work on to 75. But if somebody wants to, they can. But not making it like mandatory. They're talking about mandatory retiring age. So basically, they couldn't retire unless they were sick, obviously, unless they took voluntary leave or whatever. But it's stupid the way it's going. Like like a stupid talk to be told against these cases. Because they should be talking about they should be getting a bit more money, and that's to encourage more people to become bus drivers. And that's what will solve this issue, basically. But no, they just want to go and make them move. So that's that. So good news in that, and I wouldn't thought then. It's going to be a quiet one tonight, and I would say. I come back to this. So speaking about the Bella Jim stuff, why is this not coming up there? So Shane P. O'Reilly, he was re-elected in Cavan County Council in the Ballygym stuff municipal town. He done very well. He did well. He did well and he got in the fourth scout base. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's going to run for independent down in the general election. Now, to be totally honest with you, independent down, I was willing to give them a chance. During the European and local elections, they formed. Obviously, Michael Collins formed the party, etc., etc. But particularly, you probably know the fellow, the MEP, is running for Independent Ireland. He joined the Fianna Fáil-led alliance, I suppose, in process, and that completely just twisted me the wrong way, because they shouldn't have joined the Fianna Fáil like Fianna Fáil's alliance in the European Parliament. They shouldn't have done it. So after that, I'm not that fond of Independent Ireland. I wouldn't. I would vote them over. I would basically vote for them over Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil definitely, or Sinn Féin definitely. But at the same time, I still wouldn't. If there was somebody a bit better, I would vote for them instead of it. But still, nonetheless, I don't think so. I don't think I'd be giving Shane P. O'Reilly my vote number one. I might give him maybe number two or number three, maybe. We'll see. But at the moment in time, I don't think so, because particularly independent. If he went out on his own, and became an independent TD as his own, I would be happy enough. I would give him a vote. But I couldn't give, particularly now, obviously, as I say, if there's no other option, definitely give him number one. But I think there'd be some people better, basically. So we should see. Because Independent Ireland has kind of rubbed me the wrong way now in the last year. Yeah, but still, nonetheless, if he's the best option, then I'm happy enough to give, because it's still at the end of the day be better than Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, like voting for them. But again, at the end of the day, I can't think of his name now. But you know who I'm talking about? He won in the Midlands there, and he went as an MEP to process. So after that rubbed me the wrong way. Kilmadooney, isn't it? Yeah. I think in the Kilmadooney, yeah. But we'll see anyway. We'll see how it goes. There's probably another few months anyway. But not likely. I would rather him go on his own, basically. Now, where am I here? So this is to do with Cavan General Hospital. So they're taking no new cataract before us in Cavan General Hospital. Imagine that, a public hospital that's taking no cataract before us. So you have to go basically to another county to have this treatment, basically. So it's not great. Great health service. We spend billions on it, and they won't do it. It's stupid too, because there's so many people I know that are going for not operations, but treatment for this, that, and the other, X-rays, etc., etc. And there's people I know that are getting X-rays, and they have to go down to Monaghan to get an X-ray. And there's people from Monaghan who have to come up with the cabin to get an X-ray. It's a joke. They're sending people up and down the whole fucking country to get things done. Like, it's all just tedious shit, if you ask me. But it's after. Again, my point of the matter is it shouldn't be the case, because I think we're given 26. How much is 14 billion or something like that a year for the HSE? 15 billion, something like that. It's an insane amount of money. So where does all that money go? I would love to know, but it's definitely not going to help people now, because people have to literally go somewhere else now. It's very quiet tonight. Everyone must have fell asleep. Yeah, I suppose I just briefly talk about this one here. So this is to do with the Cavan Park down in Northern Ireland, near Belfast. So the British government were hoping, and the Irish government were going to fund a bit of it too. They are giving money to Northern Ireland to build this, but they were hoping that it would be done by the 2028 World Cup. Now, obviously, it's wishful thinking because it's quite a state of this repair. So it's not going to be done anyway because the British government don't have the money to fund it. Unless the Irish government come along now and say we're going to fund it. But still, the Irish government, the Children's Hospital, this would be 16 billion euro the cost to do it up. Because, it's the Irish government. They always go over budget. It is quite a bit of work. It's insane. They told me that it would be 234, up to 473 million. You mean to tell me the Irish government, if the Irish government were building it, it wouldn't go into the billions, if they were building a small house or a small bike shed, it would cost more. But yes, put out because the Irish government always did. But as long as the Irish government, my fear is the Irish government will come along and say we're going to build it, and there'll be another few billion for a stadium that's not even in public involvement. I would believe. Just go off this for a second. Just go back into this. Just there. So I just briefly touched on this now here. So Joe Biden said a lot of people thought this was photoshopped. I thought so too when I first seen it. This is actually Joe Biden putting on a Trump hat, and he seemed to be quite happy about it. Now I don't know, did he know what he was doing, or was he just after waking up and doesn't know what he's doing? But still, one of the most iconic moments, I suppose. Unless he's going to vote Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris. Imagine if he does that, that'd be something else. Because I'm sure he's not that happy that he was given the boot by Kamala Harris to become, the Democratic nominee for president. But still, nonetheless, actually a cool moment to be totally honest. To be totally honest with you. So I talked about this in my video earlier on. Now, there's so many children. Now, they brought this to the High Court, which they should have, obviously. But there's so many children not going to have places in school. And still does have no places, these special needs kids. 160 of them. It's quite a number, and probably more that we don't know about, to be honest. It could be 200, 300, for all we know. But not, long story short, it's a sad state of affairs that this is what's happening at the moment, and this is what's going on. So, and still, basically these children too, as I said, if you watch the video, I explained in more detail everything. But long story short, these autistic children would be very upset. They'd be more upset than you and me, take for example. If we didn't have a place, they'd be more upset. They'd be, in tears, and probably because they want routine, etc., etc. So it's and normal 40 is more wide with the phones. But long story short, watch the video from earlier on. I explained it a lot more. Just watch it. Just do it. Um, so yeah, so the ditch was talking about these TDs. That is Welsh with a group called the Friends of Israel. So you can see the TDs here. So all of them basically are in Israel's pocket too. We don't answer. Not all of them. People before profit wouldn't say in people before like in Israel's thing. They're very vocal about Israel. And not so much Sinn Féin too. They're all about Palestine. Actually, one Sinn Féiner said Palestine's more important than Ireland. So I suppose I would track that other statement. Uh, they care more about Palestine than this. Hello, Aaron. Signed up for Electric Ireland. Oh, that they're coming to your door looking for to sign up for Electric Ireland. Well, that's interesting. I literally none of them come around here like to sign up for Electric Ireland. Nobody does that really around here. It's probably only big like never came out. Geez, on a Saturday too. Would they be around? Are you sure he wasn't trying to scam you? Because I don't know would they be walking on a Saturday. Would they? And what about during the week? I don't know would they be, and especially 5 o'clock on a Saturday evening. Wouldn't mind in the morning so much. He might not have been genuine. Uh, yeah, belongs to a short head. No surprise here that these are all Fina 4 and Fina Gael TDs in with the Israelis, as they usually are. Even though, again, if this was any other country, there'd be uproar about them blowing up everybody, basically. And not to mention they're bringing literally ammunition over the country to bomb children, etc., in Palestine. So, yeah, I talked about that earlier on in my video, too. Yeah. No, I was just taking it out because I wouldn't mind during the week. Like, I tell a lie, actually, but the other statement. I had somebody here probably 2 months ago. It was during the summer, just after I came back from Finland, I suppose. Uh, and they were trying to get me to sign up for, what was it? Oh, Sky. It was Sky. It was Sky. It was Sky. Yeah, because they're trying to get me broadband, and I said I'm with AO and stuff like that. But they were from Sky because the fan was outside. Um, but that was the only time. Like, literally nobody else calls about anything else around here. So, do you get more of them in this? Like, you probably live in a big town, not so much in the countryside here. There wouldn't be many of them calling around. No, but that's pretty sus because that was during the week. That fella called. I was just home from work, and then he called. Hello, Bricktop. How are you doing? Sorry, I meant to say hello. Yeah, it might not be general. I don't think they'll be walking on a Saturday at around 5 or so. Don't take them. So as if Shawnee probably sees this later on. So as I was saying, just if we were talking about Apple and stuff like that the other day. So Amazon, as you say, just actually you must have read my mind about electric garden, etc. Well, not so much electric garden, but just the state of it. So the majority of people in Amazon live in Ireland. Sorry, not living in Ireland. Majority of Amazon employees in Ireland, which is about 6 or 7,000. So there's a lot of Amazon employees here. They're building a big new dispatch center, etc. And obviously they have huge offices, etc., in Ireland. So the majority of the workforce comes from outside the European Union. So what that means, the mostly African or the mostly Middle Eastern or mostly maybe from the United States or something like that, but they're not Irish, basically. Majority of the workforce, as I was saying about even the other companies, Apple and stuff, the majority of them, the Irish government said to employ Irish people, employ people here to get them good jobs. That's a lie. Because as I say, the majority of like I don't know anybody that works in any of these big tech companies. Basically, what I'm trying to say, I don't know only Joe that's a secretary, or I don't know anybody that's a janitor. So where are all these Irish people working? If there's supposed to be 7,000 Amazon workers, where are these 7,000 Irish workers supposedly in Amazon? Take for example, where's Apple's? Oh, the Irish workers in Apple. Because to be totally honest, no Irish person should be leaving if all these jobs for Irish people in these big companies. Because the Irish people have to leave because there's no work, there's no money for anybody, there's no money for them to survive, and they can't afford to buy a house, they can't afford to rent the house. So how is this basically? Because I do think this is true. Because why would they employ an Irish person? So I say this is right. The same with all the other big tech companies. To be told as Um, yeah, well, not like from the European Union, so I don't know, but mostly East, like out of the European Union. So I don't know, but like Middle Eastern, more maybe Africans and stuff like that. I don't think the Balkans and stuff like that. I don't think so. Maybe you could be right in that, but I don't know. But long story short, they're not Irish. They're coming from outside the European Union. They're not living like they're not from Ireland, etc., etc. But the Irish government tells us every day of the week that everybody walking here as an Irish person, getting well paid and able to buy a house, etc., etc., is having a family, etc., etc. So this doesn't seem to be true. Well, for Amazon, maybe for the other companies it might be different, but it's probably the same old story. Yeah, I know they're pretty badly treated now, the Amazon workers. I'm not going to lie to you on that one. Like some of them in some parts of America don't get toilet breaks, etc. So it's insane. Oh no, but the engineers, I'm not talking about the only Joe on the ground take, for example, but the engineers and stuff like that. Like these offices in Dublin, not so much with the big dispatch sector, the people working on the ground, like the people sitting in offices scratching themselves, basically, in Amazon. Like they'd be well probably enough paid. Like the main office for Amazon in the European Union is in Ireland because they don't want to pay tax. Uh, so you get what I'm saying. So all of them would be well paid, sitting in offices and stuff. But the man in the like the workshop, the dispatch center, whatever you would call it, the warehouse, I suppose. Like they're building a huge warehouse in Dublin, hundreds of, like it must be 3 or 4 football pitches. Uh, you know, but that's what I'm saying. So the government are lying, to be told, on that instance. Maybe they're right in the other instance, but who knows? Uh, so what the topic? So you probably people have seen this. This was in Blackterstown in Dublin. Now I probably will show you the photo of the. Maybe I won't. We see how we get on. But I'm sure people have seen the photo of the man with the big knife. I don't even know what it was. It was kind of like a knife. It wasn't machete. It wasn't that thing. But so it was outside the school. They're right in saying that it was outside the school. Uh, now, if this fellow is a student, a school student, he's quite tall. He could be. He could be. He could be just tall. But to me, he doesn't look like he was a student. They say he wasn't an adult, but he must have been at least 18 or 19. To be told in my mind, but maybe I'm wrong. But the best thing to do if he wasn't an adult is just to name him, tell who he is, and we can find out from that. But obviously, the Gardaí are very upset that people are questioning this. I'm very upset that people are questioning why is the other fellow with a knife that's from outside the state coming in again and doing this kind of carry on. It's just the truth. Um, but obviously, there's I don't know. I suppose maybe we can take it a grain of salt. But to me, if you've seen the pictures of it, he does look a bit. He does look old. He does look like he's not a minor in a way. But maybe it's just me. But the fact of the matter, they won't. They didn't say an age. Like they only say he's not an adult. You can think they would say 17. He's from this part of Dublin. He's, we're not from, but he came from this part of the country. He came from here. He came from there. He lived in this part for this 7 years. No, it's just the fact of the matter. The Gardaí just come out not saying anything. They kind of just said he's not an adult, and that was about it. Take it as he will. But the fact this is the thing that causes annoyance to people that the Gardaí won't come out and just say, yeah, we have him. He's in custody. We're going to deal with him. Well, there wouldn't be in custody if he's not an adult. He'd be in youth detention or whatever you call it. But I don't believe it, to be told. I don't believe it. But I don't know why they say misinformation. Like there was an incident, but maybe it's misinformation in terms of people thinking he was an adult or something like that. But maybe it was. I don't know. But if you've seen the photo of it, maybe. But the fact of the matter, the Gardaí should be honest with people and say, look, he's 18, he's from this part of the country, right, fair enough. But the fact of the matter, they won't give an age. At least here, they won't give an age, and I don't know of it. But, we see, But still, nonetheless, it still raises the question, why is the fellow going around with us in school, bringing a knife to school? If he is a student, why is he bringing knives to school, into schools and outside of schools? And why is another person from outside the state that's probably here as an asylum seeker Why is it one of these people again? Basically, it's not waste. It's just asked a simple question because there's a common occurrence nowadays. People with knives coming in from the state, coming in from Timbuktu, etc., with knives. We see it in Germany, etc. We see it in Ireland even too. We see it in England too all the time. Um, so it's a simple question. I just love that to be answered if somebody would. But again, maybe it was. Maybe give the Gaudi credit. I don't know. But to me, looking at the photo, because it was a video, you've probably seen the video. If you look it up, it's all over Twitter. But if you look at the video uh, and the photo that was taken of it too, he does look like he looks very tall. And I don't know if it's just me being a conspiracy theorist, but he does look very tall. He does have a backpack on his back, so I don't know. Or was he just pretending to be a child to be in school? I don't know. But the fact of the matter, there's not much forthcoming information from the Gaudi on it. Like, you think the Gaudi be giving out every piece of information, because that's the only way to stop really misinformation, the disinformation, or whatever, is if you come out with all the information, just put it out there, basically, instead of hiding things. You know the way in England they wanted to hide the person's name, etc., over the stabbings of them girls. They didn't want it to be let out, etc. It's the same here. If they just put out all the information, tell the people, look at this is this, you know, that would be a lot more fairer to people, to be totally honest. Especially an incident involving schools. Again, as you remember, in Paulnell Street, what happened. We don't want another one of them incidents happening, basically. Especially with a knife, too. But again, this fellow shouldn't have had a knife in the first place. Even if he was an Irish student, he shouldn't have brought a knife to school. So thankfully, I don't think anybody, I think nobody was hurt as far as I can get. Nobody was, like, hospitalized. But we'll see what comes of it. Oh, it wasn't even at school. No, sorry. Apologies then. It was at that place in Dublin. Mm. Oh, he was 16. Geez, yeah, he probably was. Yeah, so he's 16-year-old, yeah. But you think the guards will come out and say that? Maybe the other articles though. See, I was only following it briefly. But I don't know. But I want to talk about this just for a second. Um, so this is in Cavan, the other side of Cavan. And I just want to briefly talk of this for a second. So this is a thing, and I suppose it's true for many people in Cavan, even for myself for once. I'll just tell you a story in a second. So the note was handed to the Joe Finnegan show on Friday there, just yesterday. So this woman from Mount Nugent in County Cavan was struggling to find a Garda station. She needed a form signed. You know the way you get passports and stuff, you can get forms signed. Or for social welfare and stuff like that, you had to go and get the Garda to sign it. And I have an old story. I have a story to tell you too about not social welfare, but particularly in relation to my passport when I got my passport. So she needed to get it signed by a Garda. She tried the Garda station in Killalec, which is open. It's open now and again. The Ballygym stuff, and Ballygym stuff should probably be open all the time. But and Oldcastle, like Oldcastle and County Meath is a big town. Oldcastle is quite a big town, and the three Garda stations were closed. None of them were manned. Like there was none of them manned. Like out of the three Garda stations this area in the same day, none of them were manned. In that whole area, Cavan, there was not one guard in the Garda station manning the desk. So that is very disturbing, I suppose, in a way. That I wouldn't mind maybe one Garda station in Killalec, because Killalec isn't that big of a town. I wouldn't mind so much if there was only it wasn't manned Killalec, because it's not that big of a town. But Ballygym stuff definitely should have been a guard at the desk or around the town or somewhere in the Ballygym stuff area. But then you could argue should have went to Baileybo. It's not that far away. The Baileybo headquarters of Garda Síochána in that area. But at the end of the day, the woman shouldn't have to drive 100 years to go to the Garda station. And then she went to Oldcastle in County Meath, and there was no Gardaí in Oldcastle there in County Meath. Well, Meath is the reputation for the lowest number of Gardaí in the country, so that's kind of understandable enough. So it's very shocking, particularly the same within a few hours, none of them were manned. Yeah, so she had to drive from probably Oldcastle to Cavan Town Garda station. Yeah, so this is quite shocking. Especially with all these Garda stations, because there's a lot of Garda stations around Cavan, but a lot of them are only open once a week, twice a week. I think the one in Kinneck is only open twice a week. The one in Belgium stuff, I don't actually know about the one in Belgium stuff, but it should be open majority of the time. The Old Castle one, I don't know about Old Castle too. But presuming it is a big town, they probably would need the Gala station open. It's the same what they wanted to do in Ballyconnor. They wanted to limit the hours at the Gala station in Ballyconnor, which was stupid as fuck. And then they obviously were saying about the one in Mumbai, it's just fallen into disrepair. They haven't opened that. But long story short, in Cavan at the moment, this is just to say to people for public information in Cavan, the one that's manned all the time is the Gouda station, the Gouda headquarters in Cavan town. The one that's manned all the time too in the other parts of Cavan is Bayabo. It's manned like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think not King's Court, sorry. What is the Gouda station? Isn't it? Yeah, Ballyconnor's manned a good bit of the day. It's not manned at some point. I can't remember the timetable exactly, but it is manned the majority of the day. I think Arvo is manned too. I think them 2 or 3. I think there's only 4 Gouda stations in Cavan manned, like 24/7. As far as I know, not 24/7, not Ballyjim's, not in Ballyconnor's perspective, but I don't actually know exactly the timetable. But definitely Cavan Town and Ballyabo are manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I tell you a story. I missed a lot of stuff, sorry. Good full screen. But I tell you the story. So when I got my passport, before I went to Finland, I got a week or so. Not a week, a month. No, basically, blah, blah, blah. So at the beginning of the year, before I went to Finland, basically, at the beginning of this year, I had to go and... So I got the application for a passport. And obviously, you need to get it signed by a member called the O'Connor. So I went off to get it signed one day to look for a guard, to find the guard somewhere. So this is the same thing what happened to me. I went into Bautoba there. Even though I probably should have went into the town, but I was in Bautoba on the day. So I was like, fuck it, I go down to the station in Bautoba. So there is 2 Gardaí based in Bautoba. Wherever the fuck they were, who knows? But yeah, I was waiting. I buzzed at the Garda. There's a buzzer there and all that. There was not one about in the Garda station. I went back 3 times to it, and there was not one about in the same day. So I don't know where them 2 Gardaí were or where were they, or what were they doing. But there's nobody based in Bautoba, basically, if there was something wrong. So, and then best part of it all, guess what? I didn't say this before, but because I said I wouldn't say it because it might cause an issue to come out with it, because I wasn't that happy, to be totally honest with you, that day. So after that, I got the bus into Cavan Town to get it signed because I wanted to get it set off. And this is the same thing what happened, but this is the main Garda station in the county, Cavan Town Garda station. I went into it. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening. It was maybe 6 o'clock, sorry. So I went into it. I went to the front desk. I waited there for nearly 20 minutes. There was no Gardaí at the desk. So I waited there for 20 minutes. And I had to get up and walk out. So I didn't go. I didn't say anything at the time because there would have been an issue probably with it, especially the main Garda station in the county. But I did bring it to some of the councillors. I did mention it to them that this was not acceptable. Because if I brought it to the public's attention, it would have it would have cost a bit of a ruckus. But long story short, it's a joke. I waited there for 20 minutes, not one of them at the front desk, in the main Garda station in the county. And I had to get up and walk out. So basically, I had to go back the next day. Thankfully, there was a guard at the desk in the Garda station in Cavan Town. There was one there. So that morning, I got it filled up before work. But yeah, a lot of bullshit, basically. I understand the one about Tobin, maybe, because it's only a small Garda station, but at least I thought they would be there at some stage. And I wouldn't mind. I pressed the buzzer many times. It should connect you to the guard if he's out the beat or whatever. But no. So that's what happened. And I swear to God, that's what happened. But at the time I said nothing about it because it would cause an issue. So it's the exact same thing as what the woman was saying there. But, but I was off the impression that somebody should be around somewhere, because there wasn't one about the Garda station in Cavan Town. Like, I wouldn't mind if there was a gal walking in and out. There wasn't one of them anyway. And even when I was getting the passport signed that day, the gal didn't really, he was more half of it. He didn't really want to sign it. He didn't really want to do it. He was begrudgingly doing it, basically. You can tell by him. He wasn't that bothered to do it. Very begrudgingly. Because I presume he was supposed to be on the desk. He must have been after falling asleep. Because, it's just a joke. No, but I wasn't a child at the time. Yeah, no, this is the I was full an adult. You just need it's the same with every passport. You had to get it signed by the guards. But that's what happened to me. So basically, the exact same thing as here, but particularly the main Garda station. I don't know about Oldcastle. People from media would tell me, but I don't know so much about Oldcastle. But I presume they have a big Garda station because unless the main Garda station's in Navan, but I presume Oldcastle's a big enough place. But no, it's a joke now. You got a license? What? No, this is to do with passport. Passport. When you're getting a passport. Um, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Give me a second. I have to want to wave up on Garda Street and Connor for a second. Because I kept quiet for a long time about it. I kind of said nothing about it. I actually was not going to say anything about it. I was going to make that evening when I came back, I was going to make a huge video giving out fuck about it, but I said no, I probably shouldn't. But I did mention to the TDs and councils that this wasn't good enough. There should be somebody, at least someone, particularly in the Garda station in the town. I was surprised, not fucking one of them standing on the desk for 20 minutes. Again, whatever this is, whatever after that, for fucking 6 hours afterwards, probably nobody's standing at the desk. But I waited there for 20 minutes. I'm sure the fuck they looked at the cameras in the lobby to see there was there standing there. There was none of them in the main desk, basically. So they were behind the door, and you can't really buzz the door, and they wait at the main desk if you want to talk to them. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if a woman came in, and this is my point, not about so much about the passport wasting my time, but this is my point. If a woman came in after being beaten up, or her boyfriend's after with an axe or something like that, and she's running to the Garda station in the town to get away from him, where was the guards? Where are they? And somebody at the desk. Or if somebody's after being kidnapped and they've managed to free themselves and run to the Garda station, take for example. Or take, for example, somebody's had a nasty injury in the town there and they were brought to the Garda station for assistance. Are they supposed to just wait down to the Garda are ready to help them out, when the reasonable time? But to be told, I should have made a complaint, but I did make a complaint to the councils and TDs. I told them that it's fucking unacceptable. But yeah. And especially then the ignorant Garda. Well, he wasn't ignorant, but he didn't seem like he wanted to do anything. Like, he begrudgingly talked to me. You can see in his face he didn't want to sign. He didn't want to do anything. Like I'd say if I told him that like somebody was after him more, he probably would have not bothered to take the report or whatever. So, yeah. So this is from My Summer Cal. You probably know the video game. So you probably know of the YouTube. I explain now in a second. So I got this. There was quite a bit of talk because obviously being from Finland and talking to people from Finland, a lot of people were watching it as it was happening. And I was watching some of it too. We actually, being some of the people in the Social Democratic Party, were watching a good bit of it too when I was over there. He was doing some streams when I was in Finland too. Like at the game. Basically, I try and explain it to you now in a second because it's better for me to explain. Yeah, but no, it wasn't acceptable. No. That was total bullshit. I wouldn't mind so much in Beltoba because again, there's 2 yards. They probably were out doing something. There's only 2 of them in Beltoba there. But I don't know about Cavan Town because all the Garda are in the town, so I don't know where they're about or what they're doing. But they wouldn't doing the job that day. Because I wasn't happy because it's not acceptable for somebody to get up and walk out. Like that's what I had to do: get up and walk out. But again, it wasn't important. But at the time, it still isn't acceptable for a member of the public to go in, and basically nobody there. Truly busy, yeah, I'm sure they were truly busy. They were all fucking standing around doing nothing. Because the man, when he came to me that morning, I confirmed there was somebody at the desk, but again, he didn't look like he wanted to do much. Basically, he looked like he didn't want to walk him. He wouldn't walk in batteries. I could tell by looking at him. Like he begrudgingly filled in the form for me. Begrudgingly, you could tell by the way he was looking. Like I should have just pulled out my video camera and videoed it. But I said nothing about it. I said nothing about it for a while. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. If it was imagine if I was a Ukrainian or something, the guard wouldn't answer come to the desk, go into that. I wasn't there. Like imagine the uproar, the whole politicians would be out in force. Imagine if I had to go into a report I was misgendered. I identify as a woman, and somebody misgendered me, called me a man. Imagine that. Imagine how quickly the girls will come then. I should have said I've been misgendered. That's the only time that ever comes quick. I said the whole Gaudi and cavan would have come out. They would all flew out the door at 900 miles an hour if I said to them I was misgendered. They would have all just literally flew out. So next time of this, I say I was misgendered by some far white tug. So you probably know of this YouTuber. So he done in my summer car. So here's his last video. He done. I don't even know what it's, but hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kilometers in my summer car video game. So basically, it's based in Finland too. And obviously, I've been following this. He's basically over. It took him literally a year to do it, to get this. So I've been following this very funnily, and obviously, it's good fun. It was good fun watching it. It was suffering and pain and all that. But yeah, it's quite good. The game is quite good, etc., etc. I wish I could play it, but my computers wouldn't be good enough probably to play it, and not even that. I'm never was good in keyboard and mouse. But yeah, that's how I got the top. So yeah, there you go. Bought it from his store, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the game. I just seen that myself in the description, yuck. But there you are. That's what I get. So yeah, it's basically commemorating. I don't know if you can see it that well. So it's basically the mileage on what he did in Finland and the my summer car top. There you go, and then obviously his logo on the top too. Oh yeah, I seen the joke. Yeah. So that was that. Why did you think it was another game out on only? You probably would not take it by summer car. Were you taking it something else? I think you might have thought of something else there. So I was too busy gone bullshitting. Well, not bullshitting, but giving a fuck about it and out of Connor. So basically, I can relate to that woman. But in fairness, I only had to go to 2 Garda stations. She had to go to 3. And between Cavan and Tempertubble isn't that far compared to Ballygym's, the Killinneck, Ballygym stuff. It's a good bit more kilometers. Like the Beltubble and Cavan Garda station isn't that far away from each other. But yeah. But it should. My point to the whole lot of it is it shouldn't be an issue, basically. But yeah, I don't. Did anybody ever have that happen before going to a Garda station and there was nobody about to sign any documents? I know some people wouldn't, but when you get your passport, you have to get something signed. I don't know what it was. Some Garda had to sign off on it. The Good Friday, yeah, it was tightened, yeah, but I think they left a few loopholes in it. You get what I'm saying? Not wink, wink. Were you thinking of that game? But you probably were thinking of something else. I think you thought it was some other game. Yeah, oh no, it's not that, Anna. It's not that. I was thinking, I was wondering why. It's not that. No, it's not that. Definitely not that. But it's this. It's very warm. Like it is very, very warm. I tell you that for a fact. It's a bit small for me, but I think maybe it's not supposed to have a top underneath it. But yeah, a lot of Finnish people were watching it. Like the people I knew watched it and stuff, were watching them doing it and stuff. And there's a lot of people watching it. Like my summer car is very popular in Finland. Like they play it too. The people I knew in Finland, they would play it in the spare time now and again. But there's no such thing as my summer Ireland, so we need to get an Irish game on the go. That'd be too wild to be having an Irish game like my summer car. It'd be too wild. You wouldn't be allowed to have a cow because Eamon wanted to take it off you. Yeah, so basically, pregnant women could basically come to Ireland and have their child and would get citizenship, pretty much. Visit Japan. Why would I visit Japan? Out of all places in the world, what makes you think, why would I visit Japan? To see the emperor. I'm not going to go and see the emperor. Japan. You want me to go to Japan? Japan. Like, seriously. Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what exactly he was fucking doing, but it said I had to get a car design, so that's the only reason why. If it happens again, I take my video out and annoy them a bit, because I was going to give him a bit of guff, but I said I probably shouldn't. Pokemon is all that. Why the fuck would I be interested in that? Go like how many hours? It's something like, isn't it not fucking 15 hours or so to get from Ireland to Japan? Are you well? Because literally, actually, funny enough, when I was in Helsinki, the plane beside us that was going to Tokyo, so I could have got on that. It doesn't actually tell. It tells me all the fucking payments of the day, how much it costs, but it doesn't tell me how much fucking it cost, like how many hours. No. No, thank you. 19 and a half hours. No, thank you. 19 and a half hours. 19 and a half hours. Are you well? Going for 19 and a half hours on a plane. 20 hours, literally. Like, the fellow that we just watched there, I don't know if you know, but basically he went to Finland too. He must have been there around the time I was there. He probably was. I could have seen him. I can't remember when he was there, the YouTuber. Because he went to Finland and he has it up on his second channel. Yeah, the night before. Yeah, I wouldn't pass much marks about the guards think. So I didn't care what he thought. He didn't want to do any work, but it was going to make him do it anyway. So if he liked it or not, because you can tell by looking, he didn't want to when he signed it. It was more or less saying, "Oh, somebody else can do it for you." Like none of them want to do any work. That's the thing. The guy was going to do a day's work. He was going to sit in the fucking. He probably was on it the night before, maybe just sleeping in the back. Fucking what we know. So, but no, I won't go to Japan. How does that sound? Because Japan, go to Japan about 19 and a half hours. Are you well? Not going to lie to you. Looking at the flights there, I looked at the price of flights there to Japan. It actually is cheaper nearly to go to fucking Japan than it is to go to Finland on a flight, which is insane. I don't think so. I don't think Japan now. Whatever got anywhere else, Japan. Japan. There we go. But nobody was watching this, just as NBA. Nobody was watching the my summer cast room because it went on for a year. Like everybody was talking about it on YouTube. Uh, so, are we ready to go on to the speaking of the Finland and stuff like that? Are we ready to go on to pain and suffering? So, right, are we ready for this now? To this cope and shite. I can't even see what this. Uh, so, long story short, I know. So, um, so yeah, I like. So this is the public broadcast. Not what is the public broadcast. Uh, but long story short, I was watching Telly good bit, especially when Lie Anders one, as I was saying that time, because I was wanting to see what was happening with the European election. So basically, in Finland, obviously the translation and stuff, what they call translation yoke, subtitles. That's the word. So Yell has a channel in Swedish and Finnish. There's no English, basically. They don't use the English. They don't speak use in English. You know the way they do it in Irish here. They don't do that in Finland. So it's beyond me why they want to do this. It's beyond me why they want to go this way, Uh, and long story short, so this is, as I said, the public broadcast in Finland. But long story short, 5 minutes later, the Ministry of Cities came along. So the Ministry of Cities is going to take all the money, to put it lightly. So they're going to take 200 million going. They're going to take all the money that they're getting from the government. So basically, they're not going to have any money. And this could be to do with this. So what I take, and a lot of people do take in Finland, they were doing this to kind of piss off the leader of the True Finns. And this is what I was saying. As soon as they done this, she's like, "Time to cut you. We're going to fucking take all your money." So a lot of people are very upset because a lot of Finnish people are generally very annoyed at this too. Because we're like, "Fucking Jesus Christ!" Because they were like, literally, there's people there should be English more than anything else. They should be doing English news translating uh, more than anything else. Not so much Arabic and Somali, but I don't know where all these Arabic and Somali people are because I didn't see nearly any of them. The only people I seen that was maybe Arabic, or the taxi drivers. There's a few taxi drivers that were Arabic I seen. So I don't know where all these people come from because literally I see nobody with a burqa on them in Helsinki. So I don't know where they all were, but they're hiding in the ditch or what was happening. But long story short, 200 million gone. So yeah, it's time to cut. It's truly impressive. But this is the thing. Listen to this bit. Just hear me out for a second. So she was on the public broadcast the other day, and she made a complete fool of herself, as she usually does. But what was I going to say? So long story short, they're asking her very tough. In fairness to they actually are asking her tough questions. Like they actually are holding the government to account. If we had the same public broadcast over here, to be totally like generally, Fianna Fáil Fianna Gael's days would be numbered. Because they're generally asking her very tough questions that she doesn't know how to answer or doesn't want to answer them. But long story short, everybody's very upset because the reason why, because Yale has annoyed her and annoyed the True Finns up and more, because they basically have exposed them for a lot of stuff. And back a few years ago, members of the True Finns, etc., before they were in government, bullied journalists, etc., tried to shut them up about different things that were happening in the party. So basically, the True Finns are very known for hating the media and wanting to blow up every media organization. So basically, I think that she was using this. So either they were trying to do this. I think what they were trying to do is to annoy her a bit. So basically, they got her response because everything's gone. They're going to take everything. They're not going to they're taking all the money that they get from this government. So it's time to cut. But long story short, you mean to tell me she's going to let 200,000 Indians into the country? You mean to tell me this? Because as soon as they went with this, straight away she's like, "I'm going to take all your money." So I don't believe it, to be totally honest. I don't believe it. But long story short, in a way, I do think she was just she was looking for any excuse to fuck them over or get rid of the media. And this is the excuse she's come up with because she hates them. She hates every media. She hates everybody, but she hates media. You know. Well, I don't know what's wrong. Like they hate the Finnish people more. They seem to absolutely hate Finnish people more than anything else. Yeah, yo, but I did. Where is he? He's on live on YouTube, is he? Oh, Power is live too, is he? Is he? Everybody's live. Oh, well, that's no bother. If you wish to, hello Tony Simon say though. If you wish to go with keyboards, there's no need. Don't feel obligated to stay. Just to say, if you wish to go, there's no issue at all. Anybody. But long story short, you mean to tell me she's going to let 200,000 Indians in? Yeah, so that's the truth. But basically, I think she wants to just in the way too, because she doesn't like anybody. So more could fuckery with the truth is. So yeah, no, where was this? So this is a thing I kind of sat on my head. Tech companies, yeah, there's not really much tech companies now. There's not many tech companies I've seen. Like it's not like all with other big tech companies. It's more software. You know what I'm saying? Software development, game development stuff. There's not much like tech companies. There's no Google or Facebook. Yeah, go from what I've seen on the street, anyway. But I didn't see much. Arabic people, that. So I don't get it. So I think they were trying to piss her off. That's what I think. But basically, she just wants to cut anyway. Like she just loves cutting stuff. So she was just kind of looking for any excuse to do it, basically. Yeah, like Angry, like Nokia has big factories and stuff in Finland. Like I seen a big Nokia factory that was in Finland too, outside Helsinki. There's a big, huge Nokia. They still produce phones and stuff. I seen big Nokia offices and stuff. And there was the Angry Board. I seen Angry Board, like the company that develops Angry Boards and mobile games, different things like that. Like that's what kind of I've seen in Helsinki. Not so much, Apple or Google. I think it's nothing really like that. It's more gaming, software, computers, things like that. If that makes any sense, that's what I seen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in other parts of Finland it's different, but nothing like in Dublin. You know the way in Dublin, you go up to Dublin. There's Google. There's big headquarters of Google, Apple, all these big tech platforms, and then these big pharmaceutical companies and stuff. Ghost and aliens, which you get what I'm saying. But maybe in other parts of Finland it's different. But I still don't get where all these people are. Because to be totally honest with you, I don't think so, but I don't. But long story short, so these journalists from this enterprise and news agency. So I didn't talk about this before, but basically, when Sanna Marin left the prime ministership, there was a journalist, or a so-called journalist, went around stalking her, like quite literally stalking her, literally following her around. And so basically now, why this has come to a head, why there's big uproar now all of a sudden about it. I'll explain now in a second, but basically stalking her. And as you see here, guess what? What was he doing? Like, I wouldn't mind he was trying to figure out what she was doing around it. Like she wasn't even the prime minister. She wasn't even a member of parliament at this time. She was like literally in this photos of it. And the worst thing about it all is, like, I know this is pretty weird doing this to a woman with her child too at the same time, walking around with her child doing that. Literally writing an article on it. Like he literally wrote an article on it and put one of his pictures in of it of him doing this. Like that's very weird, because he was just talking about the leggings. Like he literally wrote an article talking about Sanna Marin's leggings, what she was wearing on the day. Like very sus. Like the man should have been arrested, especially with a small child with her too. Probably shouldn't be looked into a bit. Because it wouldn't mind if she was doing something interesting. If she was I don't know, robbing the bank or something. It'd be something to write about. But and now he's not very happy. I get the other. I did actually forgot the other thing, but he's not happy with the former president of Finland. So basically, he's stalking now the former president of Finland, etc., etc. But long story short, this is extremely inappropriate. I was going to say it at the time, but this is extremely inappropriate what he was doing. What he was doing to a woman, in doing this and zooming in on our backside, etc., etc. Extremely, and not just a few. This is 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times at this stage, but extremely inappropriate, basically, to put it straight. Not even that she wasn't even prime minister and stuff like that. He shouldn't probably be. It's all about taking photos because she's in the public place and stuff like that. If she's walking by you or something like that, as people do. There's the former prime minister take a photo, but not not in that way. Like directly looking at the back backside. It isn't appropriate, and then especially putting it up on your media company page and then describing it in detail and stuff like that. It's pretty sus, to be honest, if you ask me. Yeah, but no, not a lot of businesses have been there. Like all the big tech platforms, if they were in Finland at the moment, they all be running for the hills because everything's gone up, basically. All like any company that's in Finland now at the moment, any big multinational company would be gone by now, basically. Let's put it out. Because they've upped the corporate wage something fierce. They've upped it by nearly 15%. So no, Google or Apple would either be gone by now because they'd be paying, God only knows, billions to the Finnish government because everything's gone up in Finland. Like in terms of corporation tax, business rates, all that. Taxes have gone up, everything's gone up, and the money's, I don't know where the money's gone, but long story short, I'll come back to this later on. And now, this lunatic, I don't know what this guy does. So basically, long story short, she's like literally the government, like the elections in 2028, the next Finnish elections, for the Finnish parliament unless the government collapses, something like that. Like she's always talking about the next government. Notice this. Excuse me. Like the next government. Like she is the like literally have another 4 years of being in government, or 4 or 3 years until 2028. And she's always talking about the next government. Like she's just completely given up and doing her job and as deputy prime minister. Like she's more worried about fucking the next government, you know. Like she's coping too much about next government. Like she should be focused on the here and now and doing her job now. Like she's always this isn't the first time. She said it 6 or 7 times. She basically said it a few weeks ago. Fuck everything. Basically, the next government can deal with all this bullshit. I'm just going to cut everything. So basically, this is her. Yeah, so what she says is like every single saving, like like this is cope. This is a lot. Like there's a lot of cope from her at the moment, because to put it lightly, people are not very happy with her. Like she's just talking shit, to be told and say. Especially now the next few things, like but the next government, like she is the deputy prime minister, the leader of the True Finns, the minister for finance. Like you think she'd be more worried about what the government are doing at the moment? Like why is she worried about the next government in 2028 unless the government's going to collapse, which hopefully it does because she's useless. But this is like everybody in Finland's very annoyed at the moment. You can see why Yal too is asking the question on why she's always on about fucking things that she shouldn't really be worried about at the moment. Like she shouldn't really be worried about what the next government is. She should be focused on what she's doing now as Minister for Finance, Minister for Sitters, excuse me. Next government, like she's more worried about what they would do. Like is she not worried about everybody losing their job now at the moment because of all shit? Like it's something like this woman's not well, to put it nicely. And then she comes out with this bombshell, which literally didn't go well because everybody's very upset now, and not really very upset, but everybody's very angry to the point where she's coming out with this bullshit. And says the problem solving, lack of empathy. So she's talking about this. This is the same woman too a few months ago that said empathy doesn't belong in politics. So basically, she doesn't have a conscience. She doesn't give a shit about the only Finnish person. Like she doesn't give a shit about her actions or what they're doing in the Finnish public. Analyzing the politics, replacing the reason and problem solving with sympathy and empathy speeches and emotionless, And she's basically blaming people for the general lack of resilience of people. Literally, when you cut people everything to literally nothing, she literally has the balls to come out and say people lack the resilience to fucking put up with it and just shut up and sit down and say nothing. And then she comes out with this bombshell that people were complaining about everything. This didn't go well, just to say to you. Like a lot of people are very angry. A lot of people are very angry about this because this is the Minister for Finance basically saying, "Fucking like," and they do have, like, in fairness, they do have a reason to complain because basically everybody's salary is fucked. The Finnish economy's in the toilet. They've literally cut everything to the bone, and she's literally saying people lack resilience, and then she's literally saying people should stop complaining. Yeah, and then literally this smart ass comment with an upside down emoji. So basically, fuck you, shut up and say nothing. They say, sit down and shut up, basically, more or less. We don't care. Like this is basically this, and just to say, there's so many people like unemployed at the moment, and being affected for them homes. This is very reassuring from the Ministry of Finance. Like this is very nice, just to say, isn't it? Like you can really tell she cares about the Finnish people. We're doing everything we can. What she should really be saying is we're doing everything we can to help everybody we can in Finland. We're doing our best for the Finnish people, Finnish nation, and for the children. But she's just literally like, fuck you. You still have enough resilience. Fuck you all. I'm going to cut you even more. And then literally coming out with this and complaining about everything. Like the reason why people complain about everything, like she doesn't seem to kind of realize this, why everybody's complaining about everything, is because she's literally cut everything to the bone. So that's why everybody's complaining about everything. Like when Sandra Brown was there, nobody was complaining about everything. There was literally nobody had anything needed to complain about at all. And now everybody's complaining about everything because fucking everything's in a mess because of this lunatic. So, and this is literally the minister, the True Finns minister. Like this is literally her account. This is her own personal account. I don't know about putting like to be like they're just messing everything up. And then she comes out with this. So this is to do with Yala's money again. So I'm pretty sure the government would have decided on Gala's money without the opposition. So basically, she's not even bothered to talk to the opposition about it. She's just like, yeah, we're the government. Fuck you. We're doing whatever we want. So yeah, because in Finland, just to say, when I was there too, when I was in the parliament, as they explained to me a few times, the main thing about Finnish politics is that you engage with the opposition, etc., when you're the government. It's the same in Finland too. You need 108 seats or so, 108 seats or so to form a government. And usually, like one party doesn't get 108 seats, so there has to be a coalition government with 3 or 4 parties, as you see with the True Finns and the National Coalition Party, and the Swedish Democrats and the Christian Conservatives. They had to form a government. So basically, there's 4 parties in the Finnish government. So basically, and even when Sanna Marin was prime minister, when they wanted to join NATO, for example, there was huge. Sanna Marin went out of her way to talk to the opposition to try and get them on her side, etc., to support her, and etc. But yeah, she's just like, fuck this. I don't care. Fuck the opposition. Fuck everybody. Fuck democracy. And then basically, we make the decisions. Fuck everybody else. Basically, that's the nicest possible way to say it. Basically, fuck you. We are the government. We will make the decisions. If you complain about it, fuck you. So it's going great. Just to say, this is literally what she's taking in her head. Like, you can tell by looking at her, she doesn't give a shit about anybody. Very nice people. And then it comes after this. So, long story short, the Finnish government, it's time to cut again. They're going to cut 120 million from vocational training. So they're going to get rid of 1,600 teachers. So they're going to get rid of loads of teachers, basically, because it's time to cut. So that's what they're going to do. And also they're going to take 120 million out of the education budget because it's time to cut. So that's what they're going to do. So aren't they great? So instead of talking about, we want people to be employed, etc., we're just going to get rid of nearly 2,000 teachers. And we're going to cut this amount of money of the education system. And just to say, the True Finns themselves have come out and said, we'll cut another 1,000 next year. So they're talking about getting rid of 2,000 teachers. And then they're on about the health service, so they want to get rid of loads of nurses. So basically, it's time to cut. So aren't they great? The best politicians in the world. But yeah, it's just time to cut. You wonder why everybody's complaining. You would wonder why. Why is people complaining? It's a mystery. It's time to cut. But yeah, no, you wonder why. It is time to cut. Oh, I forgot the other post. It is time to cut. Mango Delta. And it gets worse, just to say. Especially with this woman, it just gets worse. It just works. I don't care. And generally, people should probably report him for hate speech. If you really answer this stage. Where is this bullshit? Like, they're very delusional. They're generally very out delusional. I don't know how this government's still even going. Now, are you ready to see the biggest load of cope in 5 minutes? Yeah, they're watching other streams. There's a few other YouTubers, Irish YouTubers, streaming. So that's what they're up to. See, you're not many people be that bothered what's happening in Finland. But anyway. Give me a second now. Jesus, already half 7. My God. I suppose we continue on, so why not? It's just bad time probably to be live at. Yeah, so she come out with this the other day. So yes, the Social Democratic, so this is Sanna's party, complains about every single cut, every question out. So the Finnish Parliament's back, obviously, and obviously this is during Prime Minister's quiet, like Prime Minister's, but only parliamentary democracy sessions. Every question, every hour, all of them are wrong. Just like all of them are wrong, um, which can conclude that the fact they has been never been able to cut themselves. So basically, just like fuck you. You should basically like, fuck you. You shouldn't be asking me. Um, basically, she's wondering why people are always upset about cutting the cuts, etc. So like she's generally probably, like I don't know about this, she generally, but a lot of people are wondering in their head, why the fuck are we cutting all this money? What benefit is it going to anybody? Um, and this didn't go down well either. Basically, just fuck you. Why are they always coming out with this? Basically, why do they always ask me these questions? Uh, pretty much. And she goes on rambling for another hour. Yeah, so just basically saying we want more cuts, we want this, we want to cut this, that, and the other. Basically, she's a nice person. Yeah, it's in and out here. I can hear the wind. Yeah, so long story short, very nice person, this leader of the True Finns. I hear she's going to be the Irish Prime Minister. So I probably should keep her away from the country. I don't know what country be as bad as focused as in. I suppose we probably will want the trial. So one more thing, just then we move out of Finland. We move out of Finland. One more thing. So basically, at the beginning of the year too, they said they were going to get 10,000 jobs, and she was asked in an interview where are these jobs going to come from, and she wouldn't answer them. So I don't know where these 10,000 jobs are going to come from, especially when this year alone 30,000 people have lost their job. So I don't know how that adds up. Is she talking about getting rid of jobs? That's what she must be talking about. Whenever I need to do it, I suppose. Whenever I need to do it, I suppose. At some point, I probably get fucking like that. We want stop the boy. Am I missing anything now? Oh shit, do. Sorry, apologies. Um, esports. Uh, am I missing anything? Just give me a moment. We probably won't be live much longer anyway, because that's pretty much the majority of stuff about the talk. And I think. Um, Sorry, I'm just looking up stuff here. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's it now for the night. No, I think there's somebody else here. There's somebody else here, but I don't know. Probably just chilling. Um, anyway, we chill for a few minutes. How does that sound? To eight. Um, and then we call it quits. I don't think there's anything else now. Sure, I used to watch it. Well, I wouldn't care for it now, I suppose. That's what I way. But I did watch when I was younger. Um, like I think everybody did at one stage. But yeah, I did watch it. No, I don't know. I don't know if they're still doing SpongeBob. I presume so. You like jazz? It's all right. I wouldn't be that overly gone, but it's okay. But yeah, that's really it. So I'm just making sure I have everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, for tonight, unless anybody else anything else. Um, um, who knows? What was I taking out there? Um, hey, girl, fucking thing load like. Uh, no, that seems bad. Yeah, that's it. I don't mind the white chocolate or the dark chocolate. I don't really mind. To be honest, I take really any of it. But anyway, here lads and lasses, I think we'll leave it there. Um, unless there's anything else before we go. What's that? So yeah, is there anything else before we go? Your clock is ticking. The clock is always ticking. Oi. Guess what? What? Oh, well, I don't really want to know what, but well, that was unexpected. But thank you. But anyway, here, lads and lasses, we'll leave it there. Thank you. I know it's a bit more of a quiet stream tonight than there was maybe other nights, but anyway, that's all the better as was. The quiet, the better. We don't want it too popping. But anyway, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll talk to you Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be Wednesday. So might be one or two videos out. So in the meantime, so I uploaded two videos earlier on. Please do check them out if you have a chance. Would it be appreciated? So yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening and goodbye.